additional, regular, due, sufficient, professional, functional, adequate, unattended, vital, unlimited, managerial, artificial, protective, steady, sizable, experienced, noticeable, sensitive, impressive, outstanding, widespread, visible, exceptional, personal, surpassed, enclosed, eager, removable, positive, committed, previous, likely, repeated, valid, abundant, rigorous, tentative, diverse, ample, lucrative, knowledgeable, principle, equivalent, entertaining, perishable, competent, imperative, redeemable, skeptical, comparable, versatile, favorite, closed, enjoyable, excited, short, anonymous, elementary, valued, gifted, wooden, modern, different, stunning, daily, user-friendly, user-friendly, foreseeable, foreseeable, later, later, imaginary, imaginative, imaginative, peddle, peddle, time-consuming, consuming, time-consuming, obvious, obvious, corporate, corporate, dietary, dietary, natural, neutral, neutral, imminent, 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 mundane, mundane, custodial, custodial, on call, on call, unbiased, unbiased, marginal, marginal, definitive, definitive, shallow, profound, profound, solitary, solitary, exhaustive, exhaustive, sheer, sheer, compromative, compromative, clerical, clerical, pending, pending, contemporary, contemporary, transparent, transparent, nominal, 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 rugged, 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 indigenous, indigenous, susceptible, susceptible, high profile, high profile, succinct, succinct, perpetual, 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 premature, premature, premature. day22 형용사 기출 어휘 critical 중요한 결정적인 durable 내구성이 좋은 튼튼한 promising promising 유망한 기대되는 accustomed accustomed 익숙한 aware aware 알고 있는 valuable valuable repetitive 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 unavailable 구할 수 없는 만날 수 없는 physical fissile fissile effective 효과적인 probable 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 alternate alternate 대신의 교대 affordable affordable 저렴한 contrary 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 accessible accessible informal 비공식 intensive intensive remote able able notable notable seasonal seasonal prosperous 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 updated 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 suitable 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 delighted 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 reading reading confidential 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 mandatory mandatory defective defective, complicated, complicated, aggressive, aggressive, financial, financial, eligible, eligible, convinced, 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 similar, similar, designate, designated, prospective, prospective, sustainable, sustainable, unauthorized, unauthorized, relevant, relevant, stagnant, 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 disposable, disposable, 일회용의 쓰고버리는, indicative, indicative, sophisticate, sophisticated, straighting forward, appropriate, appropriate, provisional, provisional, delinquent, delinquent, subject, optimistic, optimistic, vibrant, vibrant, cutting edge, cutting edge, ambitious, ambitious, upscale, upscale, major, major, fortunate, 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 intermediate, intermediate, plentiful, plentiful, conclusive, conclusive, surrounding, surrounding, several, several, vivid, vivid, welcome, 환영받는, restless, restless, unforeseen, unforeseen, undeniable, 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 educated, educated, adaptable, questionable, questionable, numerical, numerical, commonplace, commonplace, elderly, 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 hearty, hearty, well prepared, well prepared, second hand, second hand, second hand, disturbing, disturbing, anxious, anxious, immobile, immobile, live, ancient, ancient, arbitrary, arbitrary, imminence, immense, immense, hostile, hostile, commendable, commendable, resilient, resilient, scarce, 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 sporadic, 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 savvy, 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 palpable, palpable, bountiful, 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 unbeatable, unbeatable, rigid, rigid, steadfast, candid, 솔직한, mountain, neglectful, bewildering, complacent, attainable, very, subtle, regularly, lax, lingering, edible, urgent, 긴급한, 시급한, whole, substantial, necessary, possible, particular, helpful, essential, informative, exciting, existing, temporary, revised, capable, detailed, unavoidable, improper, bulk, worse, independent, related, advisable, accomplished, skilled, responsive, significant, advanced, narrow, cautious, native, economic, memorable, timely, prepared, outright, established, unwavering, contingent, exquisite, impeccable, preliminary, proportional, subsequent, picturesque, consecutive, stringent, exemplary, anonymous, controversial, feasible, predominant, current, pertinent, resistant, overall, educational, satisfied, best, past, faithful, former, unknown, absolute, entire, prompt, energetic, unlikely, well suited, industrious, trustworthy, flourish, inferential, reusable, orderly, amusing, equal, safe, typical, official, specific, polite, frequent, respected, complex, picture, dependent, insightful, restful, tender, eventual, assertive, exaggerated, dominant, rubbish, exotic, genuine, in-depth, instrumental, distinctive, unrivaled, succeeding, excessive, dense, inevitable, integral, transferable, prominent, supplementary, day 24 부사 기출 어휘 1 entirely, properly, annually, accordingly, strictly, relatively, skillfully, reasonably, definitionally, expressly, considerably, totally, periodically, commonly, securely, largely, thoroughly, markedly, comparatively, immediately, momentarily, specifically, dramatically, accidentally, overly, recently, highly, widely, densely, strategically, primarily, currently, eventually, only, persistently, formally, moderately, consistently, absolutely, fairly, inadvertently, apparently, adversely, prominently, occasionally, previously, evenly, exclusively, customarily, overwhelmingly, internally, family, drastically, greatly, neatly, generally, surely, poorly, severely, seriously, poorly, simply, conversely, somewhat, rightly, respectfully, astonishingly, badly, heavily, still, regrettably, luxuriously, loudly, loudly, broadly, 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 overhead, overhead, meanwhile, meanwhile, fortunately, 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 vastly, vastly, agreeably, 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 ethically, ethically, unbearably, 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 undoubtedly, 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 cordially, 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 discreetly, 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 inherently, 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 inevitably, inevitably, constantly, constantly, broadly, broadly, loosely, loosely, radially, 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 swiftly, swiftly, in common, in common, in common, regally, regally, technically, 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 involuntary, involuntarily, involuntarily, sparsely, sparsely, decidedly, decidedly, allegedly, allegedly, namely, namely, presumably, presumably, intentionally, intentionally, indeed, indeed, 사실은 정말로, precisely, 바로 정확히, directly, directly, 곧바로, clearly, clearly, approximately, approximately, separately, 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 solely, solely, increasingly, increasingly, tightly, tightly, virtually, virtually, completely, completely, necessarily, necessarily, nearly, nearly, casually, casually, unusually, unusually, effortlessly, 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 accurately, accurately, promptly, 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 easily, easily, extremely, 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 preferably, preferably, partially, partially, carefully, 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 punctually, 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 slightly, slightly, officially, officially, normally, 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 frequently, frequently, conveniently, conveniently, closely, closely, hardly, 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 automatically, automatically, shortly, shortly, mistakenly, mistakenly, rapidly, 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 typically, typically, continually, especially, efficiently, temporarily, respectively, mutually, ultimately, unexpectedly, habitually, explicitly, meticulously, briefly, routinely, simultaneously, unanimously, actually, rately, gradually, minimally, hastily, correctly, sharply, lawfully, randomly, openly, hopefully, meaningfully, broadly, carelessly, effectively, traditionally, surprisingly, voluntarily, obviously, regularly, diligently, collectively, rightfully, loyally, sensibly, substantially, significantly, reluctantly, persuasively, repeatedly, improperly, externally, cautiously, convincingly, utterly, artificially, deliberately, productively, proportionally, indefinitely, abruptly, concisely, abundantly, functionally, variably, assertively, proficiently, spontaneously, conspicuously, exaggeratory,